The sequel to Bob Odenkirk's action film Nobody finally came out this weekend, and I got a chance to see it last night on opening night, and I had a really good time with this one. So I've always been a big Bob Odenkirk fan, going back to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but I actually never saw the original Nobody film in theater. I only saw it a couple weeks ago because what drew my interest to the movie recently was a couple months back. I actually saw that the director attached to this was, and hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Timo Tchayanto. And Timo Tchayanto wrote and directed and produced one of my favorite action, not even just action movies, one of my favorite movies of the entirety of last year in 2024 in the Shadow Strays in Netflix. So seeing Timo get attached to Nobody 2 is really what drew my interest into going back to watch Nobody. And this sequel continues with the same action, but this time adds a twist with Hutch now wanting to take a break from the game and take his family on a family vacation. And one thing this sequel does really well, and credit to Timo, and I actually think I saw Bob Odenkirk give an interview where he said he kind of handpicked Timo to direct this movie because he saw his films and said he does a really good job with the story element, not just the action scenes, and I completely agree with that. And I thought Timo and the crew nailed expanding on Hutch's family more in this movie. Each of them kind of have really distinct scenes and work, and it makes you as the audience kind of really care for these characters a little bit more, their arcs a little bit more. It makes you excited for not just Hutch, but the entire family going forward if there are going to be sequels in the future. And one of my favorite movie tropes, especially in action films, is the total badass, brutal assassin type character who's trying to live this normal 9-to-5 life, trying to get out of the business. But of course, something or someone or some people always forces him to become his brutal self and become absolutely unhinged again. And that's exactly what this movie does again. And for the second time, it absolutely works. And it's a brisk 89 minutes again. So you're kind of in and out of the theater pretty quickly. RZA also returns in this sequel to play Hutch's brother again, and you can just tell he's having a total blast with this movie and having a total blast with this franchise. You can kind of tell that he was a big comic and anime fan growing up because his action scenes, it just kind of oozes out in it. He's got a really cool one in this movie with a katana, and again, you can just tell he's being inspired by some of the stuff that really inspired him when he was younger via comics and the anime side. So it was good to see RZA again. And big kudos to Sharon Stone's absolutely maniacal villain character in this movie. She also, you could tell, had a really good time in this role. And I thought she did a really good job as this kind of crazy overlord that's overseeing this entire operation in this small town where Hutch is vacationing. So it was really cool to see Sharon Stone again in this villain role. So if you're a Bob Odenkirk fan, if the off chance you're a Timo Tchayanto fan like me who drew me into Nobody 2, if you're a fan of the action genre itself, if you're just looking to go spend a quick 90 minutes at a movie theater to end the summer season, highly recommend Nobody 2. I think you'll have a really good time with this.